Can't decide whether to offer point of sale stands to your retailers? Not sure how to price them? This is the video for you. We've been on a journey with our point of sale stands from no offering to a basic offering to now over 10 different options for our retailers to choose from. But what is right for you? Watch on to find out your options and how you could benefit from having a point of sale proposition. So I will start where we started, which is with no stands. We sell bamboo socks, and when we first started out in wholesale, we didn't even have a way to hang our socks. They were just a band of cardboard packaging. So point of sale stands or not, we really had to upgrade on the packaging first. In 2021, we started with just 20 retailers. That's all we started with, a mix of online stores and bricks and mortar. It wasn't until 2022 when we joined Faire, realised the potential of it, started putting work in to get those retailers in, that we had a massive surge of customers and our retail customer base grew tenfold. At this point, we knew that we needed to make some improvements when it comes to our packaging and our point of sale stands and general offering. Our customers were actually coming to us and asking us for hanging packaging, so that was the first hint that we really needed to change something. So in Q1 2022, we made that upgrade to our packaging so our retailers could easily hang it in their stores. This was actually quite an easy upgrade for us. There was no extra cost to the packaging, so that was really well worth the upgrade. Then by the time we got to May 2022, we had so many retailers buying and selling loads of our socks, but we had no visible branding in their stores other than the socks themselves. We were receiving lots of amazing photos from our retailers showing the various creative ways that they were displaying our socks. And at that point, we realised that we're not supporting them in the best way possible because they are having to come up with the solutions themselves. So that is actually the first step I would take. If you're already selling in stores, if you've already got some brick and mortar retail and they're displaying your product, understand how they're currently displaying it, because that will give you ideas on how you can best support retailers going forward. Understand how your retailers are currently displaying your products. Is it easy for them? Is there an opportunity here for you to get your brand and messaging out there by using more marketing materials that can go into their store? And of course, if you have customers that you have a good relationship with, or their feedback to you is they need like more ways to display your product, then actually speak to them. Get them on a call and understand their needs, because that will help you understand the problem more so you can find the best solution. What works for us might not necessarily work for your brand. So the first solution that we started with was actually just cardboard stands. So they were cheap, they were light, so really good to send in the post, but they're from China, so we didn't love that, but it allowed us to start with a cheap product, and it meant that we could test that out. We sold these at cost price plus the shipping we were charged. We sold them for £4.50, really cheap, actually only just more than our wholesale price for a pair of socks. So it made it a really easy proposition to sell, because we could say, you know, for the price of an extra pair of socks, you can get a stand. Some retailers that we had really good relationships with, that we, threw a stand or two in for free. It was a really good way to test whether people actually wanted this, and they went down really well. They were really popular. In theory, we could have marked them up a bit more, made a bit more of a profit on them, but that wasn't the goal here. We wanted to test the solution. This was a way for us to get our branding across in our retailers. Cardboard was never going to be the end goal. It was just a great cheap way to test this out. And actually, a lot of our retailers really appreciated it. We're stocked in podiatrists, some people that do market stalls, or people that aren't gifted with space. It was actually a really easy solution for them. It's nice and light, portable, so easy to kind of carry around. So they went down really well, and we're nearly out of them already. But you need to remember that it's about assessing your customer needs, because what works for us might not work for you. If you're trying to get into nice, sleek, cool boutiques, cardboard probably won't cut it. You might need to go something a bit more upmarket, because you really need to think about fitting the aesthetic of the stores that you're trying to work with. And so we've moved on to our current offering, which is a range of wooden point of sale stands. These are made in the UK, so much more expensive, but much more aligned with our brand values, and therefore a lot of the values that our retailers hold as well. We've currently started with 3 stands. So we've got a little mini stand that's 2x1 hooks, holds about 14 pairs of socks. Good for kind of at checkout if you don't have much space, a little like countertop one for those impulse buys. It has our branding on it. We've kept it very simple though. Our branding is more kind of sustainable, ethical, focus on the socks. So we didn't want the stands to take away from that. So we've gone for this like natural wood feel, simple branding, but it still says, these socks save animals. That's really important to us. So really consider the design in your process. So that's the smallest stand we've got. Then we move up to 2 larger stands. So we've got one that's kind of double-sided, so you can hang socks on both sides. Great for window displays. So, you can see them in the front of the shop, but then when you come into the shop, you can see them on that side as well. And then of course a spinning stand as well. So it's got 3 faces, and the customer can spin that and choose socks at their will. All kind of matching. So if you were to have the whole proposition, it would look really nice in your store. And we're really pleased with how these have come out. Again, we've built these based on customer requirements, so they're all kind of countertop size. We didn't go for any massive floor standing ones yet. We don't have enough retailers ordering 400 pairs of socks at a time to justify having a massive point of sale stand range, those huge ones. Maybe at Christmas, that's where they start coming in. And we've actually going to a trade show next year, so really excited to do some content kind of building up to that, how we're preparing for that, because we're going to Spring Fair and that's our first trade show ever. So maybe for that point, where we're starting to mingle with bigger retailers, we'll need to have a larger proposition, floor standing units, things like that hold hundreds of pairs of socks at a time. We've got designs mocked up, so we know what they're going to look like. It's just a case of making the order. But right now, we don't want to hold on to massive point of sale stands. We don't want to pay for the storage. We don't think they'll move as fast as these smaller ones. So we kind of have this strategy of we know what's next, but this is what is working for our current retailers, so we're going to stick with this and see how it goes. So now I will talk you through the costings of these stands. I've had a few questions from people on how do you actually cost them, what do you charge your retailers, at what point do you give them away. With the cardboard ones, it was really easy because they were so cheap, but these are more expensive. So the smallest unit, which has proven the most popular so far, I think naturally because of the price of it, is £35. So still quite expensive for a stand, but it's really, really good quality. It's durable, it's going to last, made in the UK, so it's got all those values behind it. But yeah, the smallest one is £35. The double-sided unit is £97, and then the spinner is £105. So those two are aimed at people who are buying more socks, and that is the proposition we are going for. What we will do is give them for free to customers that we have great relationships with. So we do have customers that have a high lifetime value with us. We want to deepen that relationship, and we'll use these stands to improve that customer experience. So the pricing we've gone for in terms of giving them away is the mini stand, which was £35, is free with orders over £450. The other two are free with orders over £900 and £1,000 respectively. We've worked out this pricing based on what we've seen in the industry. So we've done our research, and other brands seem to be giving out their stands at roughly 10 times the price of the stand. So if the stand is £100, they're giving it away for orders over £1,000. We can't afford to just give these stands away to anyone. If we're going to give them away, it needs to be given to people that are serious about selling our stock. Hence why we're looking at, if you're ordering over £1,000 of socks, you're serious about selling our product, and therefore we're willing to invest in giving you a stand. And these are robust stands, they will last. So if our relationship with the retailer lasts, the stand will make its money back. And if it doesn't, then we'll offer to pay to collect the stand back. So they don't have the kind of faff of having this stand in their store when it's got the wrong branding if they don't sell our product anymore. We'll then reuse it and give it to another retailer. So that's kind of like that reusable proposition is really important as well. And again, super aligned with our brand values. We do also offer other creative solutions. We noticed a lot of our retailers were getting super creative with how they display our socks. They had our stands, for example, but they were also doing other stuff. Really depends on the kind of space they've got. So for example, our podiatrists don't have much room because they've got their own clinic. They've got patients coming in and out. So they do things that are flatter to the wall. They might have a pegboard. Even some had like string tied up and they'd peg the socks on. So we've kind of been looking at that and doing our research and then bringing in more options. So now we sell hanging pegs, baskets, like feet as well. Like we're looking at bringing in an actual foot. We've been using our own for photography. We call them fill the foot. So you can actually display the sock, like what does it look once it's on the foot. So we're kind of building into this space of different solutions as well. And the other thing we're doing with these is we haven't branded them yet. Depending on the item, you wouldn't brand it. Like pegs, the hanging pegs, it's just a hanger with a peg on it. You wouldn't brand that really, and the baskets. So for now, we're just selling them as they are. And that means that we have put like kind of cost price plus a bit, so we're making a bit of a profit on them, because what we've noticed is people who aren't Bearkind customers are also buying them on Faire, which is fine, but it means we don't really want to make a loss or just break even on them. We've got shipping and other costs to pay for, so we've put a bit of a markup on them, but they're still quite cheap options compared to the stands. So I feel like we've done really well with our point of sale stand proposition. Within the year, we've kind of moved from none to cardboard to now this beautiful range of wooden ones. We'll see how it evolves over the time. As I said, we've got got a trade show next year, so it's possible that we'll need to bring in some larger point of sale stands as well if we're working with bigger retailers. But really exciting. But I've got some final advice to give you before I sign off. So just remember, try not to think of point of sale stands as an expense. They're an investment in your brand marketing and your retailer relationships. My advice would be get retailer feedback as you build them. So make sure you're providing something that your customers are actually going to use. Don't build in silo and then release it and they turn around and say, actually, I wouldn't use that. Work with them. It's a great way to build trust as well, because especially if they're giving you their kind of opinion and you take it on board and deliver on it, that's, a really valuable thing to provide your retailers with. We had a really good idea of what our retailers wanted, but we went to the point of sale manufacturer. We got designs mocked up. Obviously, there's different materials and things to use, different colors. So we got a few digital ones mocked up. Then we sent out a survey to our retailers to say, here's a white one, here's this oak, like Lugano oak and all the different types. Vote on which one you'd use in your store. And then we have built the ones that got the highest vote, but also take into account, what works with your brand. So, you might have some retailers go for, I don't know, say for us, we offered the white stand to our retailers, and a few of them did like that. I think, especially for podiatrists, they might think a white stand could go well in our clinic. But we've gone for the wood because it gives me more that like sustainable feel. That's, you look at that and that's what you think about. Matches more with our packaging and our ethos. So yeah, a lot of people did vote for that one as well, but you've got to take that into consideration as well as what works for your brand and product. And so my second tip is brand the hell out of them. This is your chance to get your presence in someone else's shop. So make sure you've got your logo all over it. Make sure it is aligned with your brand. So when someone sees it, they think, oh yes, that reminds me of that brand. That's, they get the whole experience with the stand and product included. And remember, you don't have to start with big fancy solutions. We started with the basics and have iterated since then. So point of sale stands are a big investment. There's quite a lot of money to spend, but we started small, we started cheap and have grown up from there. Thanks for watching. If you're looking to improve your wholesale channel, we are releasing our digital Wholesale AutoPilot course, which is all about sharing the information and everything we've learned over the past few years on wholesale. We've built our channel from 0 to over 700 retailers across the world. We've done really well on it. And now we're in the kind of sharing mode. So we're going to share all our secrets within this course. You can see that we're really open about sharing our content. I do a weekly video on YouTube, but this course goes into even more depth. So if you're interested, you can sign up to the waitlist below. Thanks everyone. If you found this video useful, please share your support by dropping a like, subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.